So my friends, that's my daughter's Jeep Rubicon.
For fun, watch CodesEmpire. Welcome to CodesEmpire.
Hi there guys, I'm Jason, here's Bugs. So today we are going to show you how to make your own little tow cable. We've got all the little items down here that you'll need to build it. We're building it for Bugs' Jeep Rubicon. So we're actually going to hang it off the front of her front bumper, so that'll be kind of cool. We've got a scale bungee cord to attach it with, some heat shrink tube. It's really up to you with the size. I just grabbed a couple sizes. I think I'll probably end up going with the smaller size. This cable is actually a stainless steel picture frame cable that you can pick up at most hardware stores like Lowe's or Home Depot. Of course, famous shoe goo. Can't help myself. I love that stuff. Works great. Some sort of tow hook. This one we actually picked up from thetoys.com. Huh.
Yeah.
Cool. Some kind of pliers. Needle nose would probably work the best for twisting the cable up a little bit. Some scissors to cut. Your heat shrink tube. And this is just my handy little screwdriver that I like to use to apply some shoe goo with. And we'll show you how we go about doing this. This is how I've built a couple of cables myself. They work great. They hold up. I haven't had a problem. So I haven't had any break or anything like that. So let's go ahead and get in on it and we'll show you how we do it. So let's get in on this project. Okay. Now we're in on the project here a little bit. We're going to go ahead and we'll get this thing put together and we'll show you how to do it. You ready, Bugs?
Yeah.
Do you think you could go ahead and use the scissors and go ahead and cut that package open for me? So while she's getting that ready, I'm just going to kind of straighten out the cable a little bit. What we're going to do, and it's up to you, if you want to have hooks on, or if you want to have hooks on both ends, then I recommend getting 2 hooks. If you're okay with the loop on the other end, this is what we're going to do. If you can get it out with that, that's good. Can you get it out of there? There might be enough hole. That way you don't have to keep on trying to cut. So what I'm going to do is I want to give myself about 1 inch of heat shrink tube. Okay, I'm just going to slide this on. Yeah, we still have the other end available, so we don't have to have on yet, but we can come back. We could put it on if we want on the other end. So depending on how big of a loop you really want and how long of cable, I'm figuring, you know, this is for the Jeeps. You know, I try to keep it around the 2 foot or less mark because, you know, for scale purposes, you sit there and you figure you're towing a vehicle, you're not going to have more than a vehicle's length of cable to tow a vehicle. So, you know, in this case, I mean, we're close to it, but for what we do, I mean, it's pretty close. So we try to keep it as scale as possible. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to loop this up. Give me a nice little loop, and it's really up to you how big of a loop you want. I try to make it so that way if I want to hook it around something, I can easily fish it through something, or you know, there's a lot of things I might hook it onto, and so I like to try to make it so if I want to run my cable back through, I can run it back through and go that route, you know, whatever. I try to make it as easy as possible for me to use it. And then all I do is I start to twist this. Okay. And then I just wind this really, basically I just wind it pretty tight. You know, there's not much to it. Now you can see how as you start to wind it, it'll sometimes come a little unfrayed, and it can poke you potentially. So what we'll do here, and that's why we've got the needle nose, so we ensure we get this nice and flat. And we're just gonna flatten those wires out a bit. Okay, so now we've got our little loop in. Okay, nothing fancy, and it could come unwound. So that's the reason why I use some of this shoe goo. But we also have the heat shrink tube also. Okay, do I think the shoe goo is necessary? Probably not. I think if you slid the heat shrink tube up over it and shrunk it on, you'd probably be totally fine. I like to use the shoe goo to just kind of ensure that it's going to keep that top end from unwinding over time. So it's always good to have a paper towel or something, just so you can clean up your mess if you make a little mess. And I'm just going to squeeze myself out a little bit. Close my lid back up. And then I'm just going to apply an amount right here on the top, because that's the spot that I'm the most concerned about, you know, coming unwound or doing anything. And this shoe goo will hold it pretty good. And like I said, I mean, stuff's really flexible. Once it sets up, it stays pretty good shape overall. So there. Okay, and then all we're going to do is we're just going to carefully slide that heat shrink tube over top. Yep, some of the glue's going to kind of catch and rise on up. That's alright. We're just going to get it up there. And then I'm just going to take that little extra bit, kind of work it in there a little bit. Not too terribly worried that I got a little excess up there. Okay, now this is why I have a heat gun, so my kids can help me out. You can use a lighter, works great too, but we're going to use a heat gun in this application. So here you go, Bugs, and all you're going to do is you'll flip that switch here. Let's point it that way a little bit, and then you just hold it there, and I'll just kind of go back and forth until I get that all nice. Ready? Go ahead. Okay, good job. Okay, so now we've got that part done. Here, we'll set that right there for a minute. You can see we had a little bit extra squeeze out of the top. That's alright. I'm just going to kind of wipe that off. See, and the heat kind of actually kind of helps sets up the shoe goo a little faster too. Kind of interesting how that works, but we're good. Now we've got our cable in is good, and we're ready to pull something if we want to. I'd probably recommend letting it sit for a few hours before you start pulling, but hey, if you want to get it out there and start pulling away, go for it. Okay, now when we go to loop this bottom end part, same kind of deal. Okay, I'm going to take and I'm going to cut. I'm not going to cut as big a piece on the other end, and you can do, if you want to do a shorter piece on the end, that's totally up to you. It really is. Well, let's give ourselves a little bit there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now I've got this other end, we're going to slip that right up there. Now we have our hook here, okay, and it's already got all the little stuff in it. And real quick here, oh, you want to hold that for me, Bugs? Cool. I'm just going to bend over this cotter pin so it doesn't become a snag point over time. Cool. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this cable. Takes just a minute here to kind of fish it on through here. Okay, there we go. We're in. Voila. Oh, all but one piece. Bummer. Okay, let's try that again. There. I think we got her this time. Let's see. Yep. Looks like we got it. Okay. Now it's totally up to you how far you really want to run that hook up there. We're not going to run it terribly far because we didn't give ourselves a ton of heat shrink tube. Okay. So I'm going to kind of go about the same length. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to twist it. It's not a fancy process, nothing to it, but this cable really holds its own, especially once you twist it, because it is a stiffer cable. It's not a real flexible cable, I'll be honest, I'll tell you that right now. But it really holds up real good, and it's stainless steel. So, and then all we're going to do, and it's totally up to you, if you want to throw a little shoe goo on there, go for it. Here, we'll do that just because. We'll just put a little bit on the very end, because we don't need it on the other part. Just where the threads or the end of the cable is. So now we've thrown our shoe goo on the very end there. Now we're just gonna go ahead and we'll work that on there. See, I'm just kind of twisting it because that caused the shoe goo to kind of work its way back in, and now we don't have it right on the very end, and we're there. You ready to fire that up?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember, hold it up, point it out there. That way we're not at the camera or anything. Go ahead. Perfect. Well, there you have it, my friends. Nice little tow hook we can tow vehicles with now. So as far as all we're going to do with this is we're just going to take and we're going to loop this up for her. And like I said, this cable is a bit of a stiffer cable, so it does hold its shape quite well. And you can go with any different color hooks if you really want. It's up to you. So there it is. Let's go ahead and let's put it on her truck. You ready to put it on your truck?
Yeah.
Yeah. This will be cool looking, huh? Okay, you hold your bungee cord. Okay, pull your truck on over here. Let's do like that. So what we'll do, and it's up to you what size bungee cord you really want to use, and how you want to wrap it. I didn't have any shorter ones. I kind of used them up on various other parts. Okay. But it's on there and it's bungee corded, so we can undo it when we want to use it, right?
Yeah.
So when we gotta pull somebody out, we can. Here, we'll kind of flex that all together a little bit there. Oh yeah, pretty cool. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's our truck.
Yeah.
Okay. So my friends, that's my daughter's Jeep Rubicon, and of course we've just built her a tow cable and it's ready to hit the trail. You will get to see the video of this all completed here in a little bit. Still trying to put it together, but I thought I'd get this tow cable one thrown together for you guys so that way you can enjoy that. Other than that, how would you like to end this, guys?
Thanks for watching CodesEmpire. Thanks for watching CodesEmpire.
Cool. Thumbs up, guys.
Thumb up.
Awesome. Thanks again, everybody.